Hello everyone. Today is Sunday, November 17th. I'm Kim Wilkinson and I wanted to do a follow-up video from the last one I did about losing my son, Tristin at 22 years old. First, I want to just say that I am overwhelmed by how many people viewed that video. I'm overwhelmed by not only just the comments in the post, but the private messages from both people I know and people who I've never met, sharing your story or telling me how this is something that you needed to hear or that it helped in some way. That just fills my heart. And so even though, my heart hurts because of losing Tristin, there's just this sense of peace and joy at the same time. And maybe that might be hard for you to understand. And that's why I wanted to take a minute to and explain a little bit more about, this situation and the purpose in it. So without getting into too much detail, for me, I have been practicing yoga for about 10 or 12 years, meditation for about 7 or 8, and I do Reiki and Theta healing, and I've done so much work personally in the past 2 years especially. There was a 4-year period, the last 4 or 5 years where it was just a roller coaster. I mean, Tristin really did struggle for the last 4 or 5 years, and with anxiety and depression and addictions, and sometimes there was suicidal thoughts, and we don't have a confirmation of cause of death, but we do know that he passed in his sleep, and that there were drugs around, so good chance it was an overdose, but it doesn't matter. He has passed, and I'm glad that there's no suffering for him anymore, because as much as it hurts to know that he's gone, the pain of watching him be in so much pain for so many years, that was just, I pulled a card yesterday when I was with a few friends and we were doing a Reiki training actually, and the card I pulled was blessing in disguise, and I often have felt that way. And a lot of my work is intuitive. And in a way, I knew that this was going to happen. I've known for probably at least 1.5 years. Not that that makes it any easier. I didn't know when it was going to happen. I hoped that it wouldn't. I was hoping that, he would find a new path and heal. But that was not the case. But I'm glad that he's no longer suffering. And one of the things I've learned along the way in the last 2 years is about finding meaning in suffering and finding purpose in every situation. And so as mentioned, during this time, it wasn't only struggles with Tristin. We had a lot of other struggles in our family that I'm not going to get into. Everybody has them. But it just seemed that everything was kind of crumbling at once. And during the worst of it, I also had a concussion, which took me into quite a depressive state and deep into that place of fear and suffering, and I had a really hard time getting out. And but I eventually did, and thank goodness for things like yoga and meditation and all of the workshops and trainings I did. And probably the biggest influence that helped me was learning from and practicing the teachings of both Sadhguru and Dr. Joe Dispenza, and I still do to this day. So for the past 2 years, I've been doing so much work on myself, on my own inner healing, and dealing with my emotional health, which is something I think is so important that we're not even touching the surface on. Mental health is coming to the forefront, but emotional health is something a little bit different. And I feel like in a way it's prepared me for this. And I often refer to the shitstorms of life and, referring to going through this big 4-year shitstorm of our own. And, Tristin was a big part in my learning and growth. I had all of this knowledge and information, resources and tools that came from a lot of different teachers and trainings, but Tristin really brought the opportunity for me to actually implement them and to practice them and to test them. And I had so many aha moments as I started to do the work, as I call it. Things like understanding human behavior and moving into acceptance and letting go of control and surrendering and, identifying limiting beliefs and healing from trauma and identifying triggers and, being able to shift from the past into the present and to view and live life from my soul and my heart rather than fear and ego. And all those things are such game changers. And like I said, as we were going through this roller coaster of so many things happening in our life and in our family, there was these aha moments where I found myself in really difficult times, feeling the pain, but also feeling this sense of calmness and of maybe being in control. And it was just an incredible feeling, and it was empowering. And I think that's where strength comes from. And so many of you have commented about how strong I am. And thank you for that. And I still hurt and I still have cried and I will cry. But I feel blessed that yes, I have, this knowledge and experiences and resources that can help me to move through things in the best way possible. And I remember even one point a few years ago, sitting with my husband having a difficult conversation, and it was very challenging. We're a blended family, and my husband's in policing, and we have 6 kids all together. And that alone is a challenge, never mind adding all of these other things that were going on. But it was a bit scary there for a while, and we're doing really well now. But I remember just having this conversation with him about something really heavy that was going on, and he looked at me and he said, you're not dealing with this normally, or you're not responding normally. And I had an aha moment at that point, and I said, yeah, in my mind, I said, you know what, you're right. I'm not dealing with this normally. I'm dealing with it appropriately. Because I think normal in our society is, reactive and, from that place of fear. And I was actually approaching the conversation, the situation from a place of love, and it made it so much different. So that was a huge aha moment for me. And the other one was Christmas Day, when there was just a lot of chaos unfolding, and Tristin was unable to come because it would have created a lot of, I'll just say, discomfort for Christmas. I won't get into the detail. Maybe in the book it's going to come. But I just remember Christmas Day was that day when I realized that I could find calm in chaos. And that's where, my workshop and this whole reference of finding calm in chaos was, because I just remember, a few times during Christmas Day, just stepping into another room and just bringing my one hand or both hands onto my heart, and knowing that even though I was feeling pain and sadness and all these other things, but that I could also feel in control and recognize that, I have no control over anything outside. I only can control what's inside. And I don't know if that makes sense to any of you. I think it's something you have to feel to understand. But in that moment, like I said, I realized that, you can still go through shitty things in life and be okay and have hope, and know that if you just do the work, you can get through it. And not to say that you'll get through it without pain, but you can get through it, and you can learn, and you can grow, and you can heal. And at that moment, I thought, I need to teach this to people. I need to teach people how to find calm in chaos. And that's when I started working on creating this online school, and I created this full program called Finding Calm in Chaos. And I've just felt like finally that I found my purpose in life, that my purpose is to teach people all of these things and how to, take care of their emotional health, not only their physical health and mental health, and to learn to, move through these shitstorms in the best way possible and provide people with the tools and resources. And by no means am I an expert or, certified in, I don't even know what you want to call it, but I know that because I've tested this stuff so much, it works. And it's brought so much healing for me as a person. It's brought strength. It's brought empowerment. And I can still feel pain. I do. My heart actually physically feels pain. And, I woke up a few times in the middle of the night and I could feel it, but it's okay. It's part of, the experience of these situations that happen in life. And ironically, I kind of feel like Tristin's purpose was to show me my purpose. And I think everybody comes into this life with a purpose and we kind of choose our journey. I also think we have the ability to alter that somewhat. But I think we all come into life with a specific purpose, or to teach certain lessons or to learn certain lessons. And I also think that Tristin was among so many others who chose to come into this time period, this lifetime, and to suffer and to sacrifice to wake us up, to teach us that we need to start doing the work. We're so out here and we're so getting brainwashed, and we need to learn all these things. We need to learn to, take care of ourselves and to take care of others. And life is really just about having one experience after another, after another, after another. And I think the key is to learn how to move through all of those things in the best way possible. Because there's going to be bad things that happen. I guarantee you that. I know there's going to be more bad things that happen in our life. That's just life. You can't avoid it, but you can prepare for it as best as you can. Doesn't mean, or I'm not saying that it's going to make it easy, but maybe a little bit easier. And I think when we do the work, it allows us, or it gives us the understanding, the tools to, like I said, just move through it in the best way possible rather than fall into this dark place of suffering and feel trapped. And so with so many people viewing that first video and sharing and reaching out and seeing such a positive impact that video had, I'm inspired to keep sharing and teaching. And so I do have this online school, but I'm also going to get more active on my YouTube. I'm hoping that you will subscribe so that I can post videos like this regularly that will hopefully motivate and inspire or educate and help. And if it saves just one person, it's worth it. What else do I want to say? I don't know. You know what? I've always just spoken from the heart. I'm not one to have a scripted message. I like to be authentic. My cousin and I recently created a page called Canadian Cousins, Crushing Goals, Conquering Chaos, and Creating Dreams. And we wanted to pool or combine all of our knowledge and our resources and our skills. And it's all around health and wellness. And, our focus, our vision is really to give people what they need to live the best life possible. And so I hope through that page too that we can reach as many people as possible and help anybody in any way we can. There will be, I know many of you have been asking about a celebration of life. Tristin's dad and I are planning something. I'll keep you posted. Please, even if I don't know you, if you knew Tristin, or even if you didn't and you're feeling a connection to, the messaging or whatever, please send me a friend request. I love getting new friends on Facebook and connecting with people, and there's always ways to collaborate and share and learn from each other and support each other. So don't hesitate to send me a Facebook request, either on my personal page, Kim Wilkinson, or the Empowered Life page. I'm going to put the link to my online school in this post. Even though I have this online program, I also kind of created a mini workshop of it that's free. It kind of has 10 topics if I remember right, but maybe check it out. Share it with anybody who may find value in it. There's a few free meditations that you can download there. I'm just inspired even more just to help and share and to teach and to continue. So I wanted to just share that with you this morning. And I think I will close by, again, just sharing a daily card reading with you. I'm going to do 2 today. I bought this deck for Tristin when he was in Palmakers Treatment Center a few years ago. And it's the one I kind of was drawn down to the basement to get a message from him, I guess. And so I've just kind of now dedicated this as Tristin's deck, and decided that whenever I want to get some guidance from him, I will use this deck. So I'm going to just shuffle and ask Tristin, oh, what do we need to know today? What message do you want to give to the world? And typically when I do my own readings, I just shuffle and I cut the deck, and I'm going to do it so you can see, so you don't think I'm picking a specific card. But I usually cut the deck, and then I always take the top card from the bottom deck. So the card is the Divine Physician. So it says, thank you, Raphael, for shining your divine light upon my healthy body. And so that means 2 things to me. I love that. I feel like it's, Tristin saying, I'm finally healthy and I'm free from the demons. My body is free from the toxicity of stress and drugs. And I think it's also, a message for us to focus on our own health and to keep our own bodies healthy, right? And by shining that divine light, right? And I think the best way to do that is to reconnect with self and find your purpose and find that inner peace. I think everybody's looking for it out there, but everything you need is in here. So thank you, Tristin, for that message. I'm going to do one more from my daily Angel Oracle deck that I use. This is the one yesterday. So that's the card that I pulled yesterday, Blessing in Disguise. And I really did feel like, even though Tristin's passing is tragic and hurts, I'm so grateful that he's not suffering. I really am. So same thing. Just shuffling. Ooh, guess we're getting this one. Oh, let your past go. The burden of carrying your past around has made you weary. It is time to set the burden down. Keep only the lessons and the love, and leave everything else behind. You don't want it or need it, and it's gone now. This is such a good message, and something that, this is what I've been working on so much. And I think a big root cause of a lot of our suffering, right? We've all had trauma. We've all had really shitty experiences at some point in our life. Some people have just had a lot more than others, but we've all had it. And sometimes it's easy to attach to that and hold it and to feel like a victim. And when we're holding that and we're constantly thinking about the past or carrying it with us, we can never be free to move forward. So that's a big part of doing the work, as I like to say it. So for any of you who are haunted by your past, I'm going to encourage you to start to do the work and start to start to cut those ties and let go and bring yourself into now. You can't go forward from the past. When we're living in the past, our future just becomes our past recreated. And that's why we get stuck on that hamster wheel of recreating the same shitty life. So, we need to learn to shift from past to present. We need to learn to shift from fear to love. And I can honestly say, when you do the work, it's so incredibly life-changing. The healing that comes from it, the strength, the empowerment. That's what makes this into a positive opportunity. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. I am going to have my meditation now, and I'm going to just take today for self-care. That is so important, and I hope you will all do that too. Again, thank you all so much for sharing the videos, your comments. Keep them coming, keep sharing, subscribe to the YouTube channel, send me friend requests. The more we connect in this mindset, consciously and globally, that's how we change the world. Thank you so much for watching. Please also, I just want to ask one other thing. I mentioned that Tristin passed in his sleep. His girlfriend, Kaylee Johnson, was with him at the time. And I know this is so heartbreaking for her right now. And Kaylee, I'm sending you so much love, honey. And I just pray that you can all send some love and some light to Kaylee as well. I'll tag her in the post and help her to heal. And yeah, let's all take care of each other. Shine your light. Love you all.